Another piece that I would see bringing into it is work that several of us have been developing in the past year that we call vision mobilization.
Mhm.
And it's based on the realization that we all live within patriarchal conditioning. And when I say patriarchal, I don't mean sexist.
Mhm.
I mean something much deeper than this that
Mm.
affects men and women, young and old, all of us. It's the turning away from life, the
Mhm.
patriarchal turn of several thousand years ago. Of you may remember me talking earlier about choice, togetherness, and flow. It's the opposite of patriarchy, that in the opposite order is based on scarcity, separation, and powerlessness.
Mm.
So the patterns that we live in, both individually and systemically, emerge from scarcity, separation, and powerlessness. They're based on control, either or thinking, power over, all of these things that we know we want to transform.
Mm.
Um, a lot of work that happens in progressive circles is focused on againstness,
Mm.
opposing what is happening.
Mhm.
When you're opposing what is happening, you're actually still within it
Yeah.
because you're against the path that I am working with others on is the path of vision. And it's basically to really, really see that something else is possible. Not just that this is bad and we must do this or that against it, but that, like the World Social Forum has the
Mm.
most powerful 4-word slogan: another world is possible. If
Mm.
you have only 4 words, you can't get more powerful than this. But if you have a few more words, you can actually paint a vision of the way you want things to be.
Mm.
And let your heart feel that. Because when you feel that, you shift from againstness to mourning. Because there's a huge gap between that vision and where we are.
Mm.
In that gap, there is mourning. And past the mourning, you can start thinking strategically about how you move in the direction of the vision.
Mm.
And it happens on 2 dimensions, the internal and the external. The internal is the dimension of values. What, based on the vision, what and on who you are as an individual or entity, what are the values that you will aim to embody now in the world as it is, in a way
Mm.
that will pull you internally towards vision? Within capacity, you can't have it be beyond capacity. That's another error that a lot of progressives do is,
Mm.
these grand schemes, aspirational values, and all of that that are out of touch with the reality of where we are. So
Mm.
that's on that side. And then on the other side, you have the external reality. And there you create your purpose, which is, what are you individually or as a group, organization, whatever, taking on in terms of the gap between where we are and the vision that is within your capacity, within your sense of skills, within the openings and obstacles that you are aware of, that can pull you to do work out in the world to shrink the gap.
Mm.
And then from there, you anchor it in progressively more specific agreements, more concrete agreements at the level of clear action. And if you do it well, at the end, all your actions are infused with values and with purpose.
Mm.
And so every action that you take moves you ever so slightly in the direction of vision.
Mm.
So creating some structures, creating agreements, creating systems for a group that works together. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be bombastic. It can be very elementary things, but practical again, not aspirational and not ideas, not principles, not intentions, but actual concrete agreements, such as we have a meeting every Monday morning. And the first thing we do at the meeting is we celebrate our progress in the last week. The second thing we do is we plan what we want to do this week. and etc. I mean, this is a concrete agreement. But
mm,
if it's grounded in your purpose and values, like for example, why start with celebrations? For some people, it can look like a waste of time. But for many of us, it has come to be seen as something that generates energy. And
mm,
we need the energy because what we live in is so awful.
mm,
If we don't have that energy, then we're going to use the energy of anger and
mhm,
opposition, even when we have a vision.
mm,
So if you really kind of like walk through all of that and you anchor what you do in all the qualities that you find
mm,
and all the purpose, the mission, the specific things, then your work is much more aligned.